Let's go to Numbers 11. While y'all going there, I wanted y'all to see this. Remember when we were looking at Tekolet? And I was like, man, I forgot to put here, man. 'Cause I prayed on it. I got the meaning. So this is the meaning real quick while we're doing. So that's coal in the middle of Tekolet, and it's surrounded by the covenant. Yeah. Who knows what coal means? Kaf Lamed. Uh, all right, go ahead. Go ahead. Right. Kaf Lamed means whole or all. So this is yeah, like Kalel, like a whole heart, and this whole heart. So you got coal surrounded by the covenant. That's Tekelet, the word blue, the blue on the, the CCO, all those things all throughout the Torah. It's about the whole covenant. It's about the covenant encompassed in all. It's about the entirety of the covenant. I get what I'm saying? So yeah, I meant to bring that out, and I don't know how. I'm pretty sure I put the notes in there. I don't know what happened. Sometimes I don't save it. See what had happened was. So let's look at Numbers 11. And let me know when y'all get there. All right, let's get it. Yes, sir.
Numbers 11, verse 1. Now when the people complained, it displeased Yahuwah. For Yahuwah heard it, and his anger was aroused. So the fire of Yahuwah burned among them, and consumed them in the outskirts of the camp.
Man.
Then the people cried out to Moshe, and when Moshe prayed to Yahuwah, the fire was quenched.
Man.
So he called the name of the place Taberah, because of the fire of Yahuwah had burned among them. Now
Burn off the dross. Keep going.
Verse 4. Now the mixed multitude who were among them yielded to intense craving. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, who will give us meat to eat?
So I used to think this was about the mixed multitude like the other nations, and it's not. That's not even the same word at all. That word is basically rooted in my name, Asaph, but it's like a plural type of. It's a multiple. It was a big gathering. It was a mixture of gatherings, a large group of gatherings. Basically they started. People were giving their ear to murmuring, and people were gathering people to themselves. Is basically what happened. Yeah. People were giving ears to people who were murmuring, and there was a lot of people that were gathering each other to themselves. This was not the mixed multitude in Exodus. It's a totally different word. It's not the same thing. These are the children of Israel where this happened. These are Israelites. And they yielded to intense craving. They yielded to the lust of the flesh. This is the word. That's the word for lust. It actually is almost close to ahab. Like love. But I think it's like one letter left out. I think it's the bet that's out of there. What's the word? Tet Aleph Uwa Hey. So very similar to Ahava, love, with a couple of letter difference. And you don't have the bet in there. And so it's just showing you that lust can look close to love, but it's not. There's some very key things missing. There's some very key things missing. Lust is an intense craving for something specific, and it is very lust. That's why the house is probably not included in the word for lust here, because that type of stuff is not really made for people who are in the house. That's for people that are that's for the people outside of the gates. They yield to the lust of the flesh. What verse we in again?
Verse 4.
Okay. Nope, hold on. Yeah, it's Avah. It's Avah. It's actually Aleph, Wav, Hey. Ahava is Aleph, Hey, Bet. Yeah, Aleph, Hey, Bet. So the only difference is the Bet here. That's what's missing. They look very close to each other, but they are not the same. Let's keep going.
Verse 4. Now the mixed multitude who were among them yielded to intense craving. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, who will give us meat to eat?
No, this is real. Listen. Intense craving is lust of the flesh. So don't just think about food. There's people who couldn't make it because they wanted to play around as far as with the females. They could not. They yielded to intense lust. They yielded to the lust of the flesh and got kicked out of the kingdom for that. But what happens is, this is why this came up earlier. This is the Ruach. That's why y'all gotta be careful who you lending your ear to. Because if you got somebody who's given over to the lust of the flesh, y'all think they're gonna do that by themselves? Just be given over to that by themselves? No. They have to get into somebody's ear. They have to have somebody. They will not be satisfied without being able to at least get somebody to give ear to them. They gotta share that with somebody. You don't be wanting no girl, just, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else out there doing what they want to do. Jungle, y'all, several of y'all just graduated this week. Praise Yahusha. All praise to the Most High. That's a blessing. That's another level, but with another level comes another challenges. I know that wouldn't even make sense. I know they didn't even go together, but with another level comes another challenges. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all a little story. Yeah, a short story about what happened with me when I graduated. One of the things, shortly after I graduated, I was just trying to be on my own. So I was trying to move around. So I moved around immediately. I was gone at 17 on my own. Trying to be on my own, I should say. Trying to be on my own. I wasn't living with my parents. I wasn't living with my mom anymore, with my parents anymore. Cause I graduated. I graduated at 17. So that summer I was gone. So there was a college program they had at UT for people who lived in Austin who can, even if you ain't really make the grades and stuff, you can still go there because you live in Austin. And it was like a program where it was like a probationary period, and you have, as long as you did good in the probationary thing, they'll let you in. And so I get there, and I'm 17. And the first thing I'm doing when I'm there, I'm in the dorms there. I didn't even know, I had no idea that UT was all other nations, all white. So it was no other people that looked like me there. It was one other dude, and he was just like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah. So it was so I just had my homeboys over there at the dorm with me all the time from Austin. And I already was big into, pharmaceutical sales industry at that time. And so as soon as I got into UT, I had all the connections. I knew everybody who had, and I had. So to me, it was just a big money opportunity. So everybody, so when you're dealing with the other nations, they all do drugs. At least in that age, at least back then. That was just the culture. And so they're all coming from all around the country. They're coming from all over, and they're just like, "Oh man, you know where to get that from? Oh man, come on, man, I'll pay you whatever, man. I've been trying to figure out where I can get it from." And so I started identifying real quick that there was a niche here, and I ended up being the plug at the whole dorm, which was big. This is UT. With one dorm, maybe easy 700, 800 there, and I was the plug there. So I'm getting traffic all day, every day. I'm 17. The school was secondary. I'm making money. My homeboys in there all the time, and you can tell they didn't look like they were supposed to. They wasn't no college students. So just put it that way. And they there all the time. They all there all day with me. We chill. So it didn't take too long to where I had the police coming. I had the police raiding my dorm maybe halfway through the semester. I had a heads up because, well, I'll just say I had the heads up. So I got away with the first one, but then it got to the point to where they were messing with me like on a regular. So that's when I realized that UT was real racist, real. Now I know I was doing something. I know it ain't like I was innocent. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I was innocent, but I wasn't the only one doing stuff up in there, and they was on my behind. It had to been about 25 other people doing stuff in there from the other nations, but they was on me. They was on my behind. So let's just say by month 3, I was out of there. I was gone. I was out of there. And so I was just like, man, this stuff is trash, man. This college stuff is trash. So I was just trying to make it my own way. So I, just got a job. I was doing a sales job on the phone thing. I did really well with that, and I thought I was doing pretty well for myself. And then they did some layoffs, so I got fired for something, and then I was just, man, this stuff ain't for me, man. I'm just gonna hustle full time. And so by the time I was 19, I was hustling full time. So that's all I was doing all day was running the streets and doing, y'all, I want y'all to listen, because y'all gonna see y'all friends doing this. I'm telling you, I want y'all to listen. This is how things shift when you get out of high school, when you graduate. I would have never thought of doing nothing like that while I was in school, living with my mom and stuff. Different world where now you're trying to be an adult. It's hard, y'all. It's hard, man. You're trying to make your own way. You want to be able to, be established. You want to be able to establish yourself. One of the first things that happened when I was moving full time, I was in one of my main spots on Rumberg, and it was a pool hall on Rumberg and 35. That was like one of my main spots where we would be at, making money and stuff like that. And I was at the pool hall, and the police did a big sweep right before I got there this day. This is just another day, hustling. These were slave catchers. We called them the jump out boys. I look back now, I'm like, dang, them was straight slave catchers. Y'all called them that too? The jump out boys, they run up and they'll pull up, and it literally will jump out on you while you hustling and put you in and lock you up. And they'll do it. They'll wait for a while. You know what I'm saying? And you think as you wait till you get comfortable. Take you to prison. And we call them the jump out boys because there'll usually be an unmarked car or something. They be driving slow, and then they just jump out like, hey, get on the ground right now. Get on the ground. with pistols in there. They locking it. It'll be a whole sweep. So it was a whole sweep. It had to been like, if I was to guess, like 20 people got swept that day. So it was real quiet. I was like, man, it's quiet. Dang, that's crazy. And everybody was talking about what just happened. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna just play some pool. Well, I guess this is how you think when you're young. This is how crazy. Oh, well, that's more business for me. I wasn't even thinking like, oh man, I can get caught. It didn't even cross my mind. I'm just like, man, that's more business for me then, man. That's messed up, but hey, I'm gonna post up. So I was in the pool hall playing, and this is when I met this female. She was at the pool hall too. She was about my age. And she was actually one of the girlfriends of one of the dudes that had just got swept up. My mindset was like, man, she look, you're young. Less of the flesh. Oh, man, what's your name? Oh, man, that's messed up. What's your phone number, though? You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, we were together. Man, this was one of the most wicked females I've ever encountered ever. Still to this day. This was 20-something years ago. This girl was a full-blown witch. No, for real, for real. This girl was a full-blown. She was beautiful. She was beautiful. If you were just seeing her from the you wouldn't think she was a witch. If you were just seeing her from the surface, everybody would think she's so beautiful at the time, at least. She was a big time dope dealer in the area. So my mind said, man, oh yeah, we can make some money. Yeah. So that's when everything set off. When I met her, everything went crazy. It was Housetown. She was sent. She was sent from Housetown to try to take me out. I started doing stuff that I wouldn't have done if I didn't meet her. I never wanted to say I wasn't never planning on selling no crack. That was the first time I sold crack when I met her. Dang, man, I can make some more money. I can make big money doing this. She was dealing with other stuff too. Other drugs. PCP, stuff like that I never dealt with. Dang, that's a lot of money in this. That's a whole nother. Okay, I'm start doing that, selling that. Then we get into doing thefts and robberies, and I didn't do armed robberies, but like going to the malls, going to the stuff like that, stealing like thousands of dollars worth of clothes and stuff like that, and we was just like some real deal. And it looked from the surface, it looked like we was just making all this money, doing all that, and it seemed like she was. You would have thought she was just the downest girl ever, because she seemed like she was just down with me for whatever. She would do whatever. She was willing to fight for me, do whatever. Most wicked girl you can imagine. Most wicked girl you can imagine. She used to do seances. She used to do witchcraft things on the in her room. She worshipped another allure. And I want to bring that up because this is the type of stuff you're going to see some of your friends moving. And Housetown will try to search you out with stuff like this yourself, especially if you start veering into places that you know you shouldn't be in. When you're a graduate, you might have more freedom. You might be able to do more stuff. More Emmanuel ain't gonna be able to watch everywhere y'all go. I'm not gonna be able to watch everything y'all do. Y'all gotta be able to have discernment and make the right decisions, because see, this is the thing. All praises to the Most High that I survived all that stuff. Because there's way more to that story. I'm not even gonna get into that. There's way, way more to that. She ended up getting locked up. I think she's locked up to this day. But yeah. No, I don't think he ever got out either. After that, he was done. Yeah. Nah. Nah, I wasn't worried about that at all. Nah. Nah. But Jungle, we not gonna be able to look at everything y'all doing. We not gonna be able to be trying to make sure y'all not doing nothing crazy. Because I'm telling you, the people that y'all graduated with, there's gonna be people who gonna be moving into this stuff. They're trying to make a way for themselves. They're trying to do something with themselves, and they're gonna veer into those things. You're gonna have homeboys that graduated with you. They seem like they was through all right now. Oh yeah, we did it. Yeah, we made it. And it's all through. And they was through all through high school. And they'll meet one female and mess around, turn into a killer. Some of the people that I grew up with, they end up killing people, man. Like for real. People I would have never thought would do something like that, man. End up killing people. You're gonna have some friends, they're gonna get killed. Because that's what comes with that. That's what comes when you're moving outside of the gates of your hood. I'll just put it that way. When you're moving outside of Torah, that's what comes with it. The reason why I ended up getting connected with that female is not because of the female, it's because of what I was doing. If you're not doing nothing like that, or if you're not in places like that, you will never even encounter nobody like that. You're not gonna have to worry about that if you keep in Torah, you in the set apart assembly, you staying connected with your jungle members, you staying plugged in. You're not going to the parties that they have going on. You're not going to the clubs. Listen, y'all. Those who graduate, I think y'all are 18 now, so that makes y'all old enough to go inside of clubs. There is no reason to ever go inside the club. It's just not. It's not. It's no reason. You got to remember, you are of the Shamayim. You're the sun, moon, and the stars in the skies. You're above the waters. You're supposed to shine light on the waters. The sun don't fall in. The sun don't descend down into the sea. It stays in the Shamayim and it just shines. Don't be going to no clubs, man. Very foolish. It's going to be tempting. I'm telling you, you're going to have your homeboys you graduated with. Hey, man, we just came from the club with the boo, with the boo. Hey, man, we met these females, man, and this happened, man. It was so fun. Hey, look, next week, man, I'm gonna come through. We old enough. We made it. We 18. We can do these things now. No. Hey, I'm happy that y'all graduated. I am, trust me. But we gotta tell the truth though. It's a whole nother level of stuff now that you gotta be looking at. You're gonna want to have now your mindset gonna be different because now you're like, dang, I gotta really make a way for myself, man. Now, man, I'm looked at as an adult. Dang, I gotta make some money. Let me see how I can figure this out. I need to make my own way. Be content where who has you. There's a kavod he's putting on his people. You gonna be through. You really think the Most High gonna leave you out if you being obedient to him? You walking in his judgments? You walking in his laws? You think the Most High is gonna leave y'all out? He gonna test y'all, but he not gonna leave y'all out. No, he not gonna leave you forsaken you. You'll be all right. Don't try to rush trying to have something, trying to be, because you see so and so got an apartment. Junebug got an apartment. Junebug got an apartment because he's selling weed out of that apartment. That's not going to last long. You looking at him and wanting to now you think you're supposed to get an apartment. For real. No, Ahmed just made a great point. Cause you might think, well, I don't do that stuff, but you know, that's just my homeboy. You know, sometimes we'll go to the gym together. Okay, if you riding with him and he's doing that stuff, bro, he's coming and scooping you up, and he hot as fire because he's doing all this crazy stuff. That's an easy way to get caught up in some foolishness. Even Babylon know that. That's why when if you go to probation or if you get out, if you go to jail and have probation, they don't let you be around nobody else. They don't let you get in the same car with nobody else that's on probation or parole. They don't let you they don't let you be around nobody else like that. You get in trouble just for being around anybody else who's into that stuff. Do y'all understand? Where Azrael at? He not here? Oh, hallelujah. Okay. Hallelujah. Praise Yahushua. Y'all understand though? So now y'all know the feelings are going to come. Now you know how to check it. Check your thoughts, check your feelings. Be content with Yahuwah and Yahushua. Be thankful because you're going to see what's going to happen with a lot of these other people who don't have this. You're going to have some of your friends, they're going to go off to college. And they're going to come to you, man, college is so fun. Man, I got 4 girlfriends right now. Oh, snap, man, look, man, this one calling me right now. Hey, what's up? What you need right now? Because, you know, I'm talking to my homeboy right now. You got to quit blowing up my phone. You know what I'm saying? You got to quit blowing me up. And it's going to seem glorious. Dang, he got all these girls, man. Look how, man. He'll be showing you pictures. Hey, man, look at this one right here, man. This, you know what I'm saying? This Tabitha right here. You feel me? That's how dudes be. They want to show you the pictures. Man, look, you know what I'm saying? Y'all listen what Hasatan did. This is how Hasatan did Eve. How did the serpent do Eve? He was able to make her feel like she was missing out on something. That's how the serpent was able to get Eve to bite the fruit. Y'all listen. The illusion is to make y'all the Hasatan's biggest strategy is to make you feel like you missing out on something. Man, why y'all not going to college, man? Y'all just trying to over here serving the Most High. Y'all just over here, man. Well, college, we getting it going on. It's a party like 3 times a week. Y'all, I know the idea is that people go to college and they get the degrees and they're able to make it well. And I've seen that happen. I also seen people go to college and get destroyed. I've seen people go to college and leave college way worse off than before they went to college. Y'all, I went to Prairie View, y'all. I've seen many, many people go in there who they came from high school. They had good families, good parents. Never did much. Come into Prairie View and get destroyed. Get ran through. Drugs. Fornication. I don't mean, well. I didn't mean it that way, though. But that aspect of it is true. Came to PV and got destroyed. It would have been better off never going to college. For real. For real. Check your thoughts. There's going to be a temptation where you're going to have a temptation where you feel like there's something you might be missing out on when it's really everybody else who's not in this that's missing out. That's the reality. Y'all going to be through because y'all are in this. Yahuwah going to cover y'all and make sure y'all through. Y'all going to be through for y'all generations. Y'all are set up to where at the appointed time, Yahuwah going to give you a daughter to marry. All your friends out there who's trying to make it feel like you missing out on something, they all fending for themselves. A lot of them gonna get married, divorced, baby mamas, all that life. This is important, y'all. This is important. This is real. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, sometime it might look like the grass is greener on the other side, but you know what? The grass probably is greener because it's turf. And then you leave this where we have real grass. Cause you think it's greener on the other side. You getting that Easter grass.
That plastic grass. That really happened in the Torah. Y'all remember when Abraham and Lot separated? He looked and he said, "Oh man, it looked better over there," and went to where? Sodom and Gomorrah. He straight went to the club. And what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? What did Abraham have? He had to go and rescue him up out of there. He had to go and rescue him up out of there. For real. For real. You ain't lying, though, Eva.
Okay, so I wanna show y'all how real what Mushal is saying is. So some years back, the Most High had given me, I don't remember if it was a dream or a vision. It was me about to walk into the club, right? I was standing at the door. He allowed me to see everybody else going in, right? And he wouldn't let me go in. But I didn't have that understanding. I'm just like, oh, I can't get in. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And what happened was everybody in there turned into zombies. He was showing me that spiritually, they're all dead. That's why I couldn't let you go in. And so it's just a real thing to know what it looks like ruachally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in the vision, it was all turned up. Everybody was hands up. You know, I saw some smoky space. You know, everything. Everybody they looked like they were having fun. But ruachally, they were all dead. And so that's the reason why I couldn't get in, because I was alive and he wouldn't let me be in that position to where I let myself be like them. And so it's just understanding and seeing it from a different perspective and understanding it ruachally, because that's how we should function and operate. And then later on, I'm going to say something to what Mushal was saying earlier on the lesson.
But just to make a long story long, the Most High actually showed me to lead that girl. And as soon as I left her, that wasn't an easy thing to do, because she actually became very stalkerish. She lived right by me. She lived right by me, so yeah, it was crazy. But once I did that, that's when I first really found the Most High. That's how I really was trying to serve. That's when I was 19, when I first was really trying to serve Yahuwah. The best way I knew was through Christianity at that time. And I left and moved to Houston. Getting out of Austin was the best thing for me, getting out of Austin. And I flourished. Most High blessed me to flourish since then at that time. It was ups and downs, but that's just a long story long on that one. I want Benai Yahoo to share a little bit with the my bad, I stepped on you, I'm sorry. Go ahead if you through with that?
Khan, share a little bit like what I was thinking of when you was bringing that out was when I was locked up. I was locked up several different times with 18-year-olds that had murdered somebody. like a deal had gone wrong. You know, they came in there, they were supposed to give him some money, they were supposed to make an exchange, but instead of bringing them money, they like took and ran, and the other guy just started shooting. He didn't mean to like hit him, but he actually killed him. And this young man was 18 years old. He was finna go do life in prison, you know, for murder. And he was just a young child, you know. So what Mushal is bringing out is real, because that kid or that young man didn't have any intention on like killing anybody that day, and he probably hadn't been doing what he had been doing very long. You know, probably just like a couple months. You know, it probably started off the same way Mushal was bringing it out. Probably saw his friend probably graduate. He definitely graduated high school because he was good. Everybody knew he was still in sports, right? So he probably, you know, saw his friend doing it, started riding and hanging out with this guy for a little while, you know, then started to do it himself. Started to go from one thing to the next, and then boom, you in Bell County or a county jail, and you just got charged with murder. So that changed your whole life. That's life changing, and the decision really started, you know, probably if you really look at it, a decision like that starts way before you start getting in a car with people like that. The decision starts because everybody knew his parents were still too, because they like raised him up in sports and everything. Yeah, they raised him up in sports and everything. So the decision starts when you make a decision that I'm gonna just do me, right? I'm gonna like gather together with my own clique. I'm gonna go away from whatever my parents taught me, whatever my family taught me. I'm gonna go and do my own thing. I'm gonna be my own person. I'm gonna make my own decisions. I'm gonna live my own life, and that's when it really that's when that start to happen, like that. Those negative outcomes start to happen. But that's what I was thinking about. That's what I was reminded of. And also, when I was in high school, like 7 or 8 of my friends at Shoemaker, they arrested them off the track bus. Like the feds arrested them off the track bus because they was actually doing armed robberies and stuff. But still, they was 18 and 19 years old. They went on to do like 16, 17, 18 years in prison. Like some of them just now getting out. You know, just now getting out. And none of them doing what they used to do because they didn't have to spend all that time, you know, in another level of captivity. Right, so it's very important that you take heed to what's being brought out by Mushal. You know, we have something very special here. This is something very special, and it's going to propel you even farther. It's going to propel you even farther. Hallelujah.
Man, that's crazy you said that. That's one of the things. I went through that before as well. We had a deal that went bad where somebody just took our stuff, tried to run with it. And we found them a week later. Let's just put it that way. Anything could have happened. That could have been a murder or something. I'll pray to the Most High didn't go that far. We had another situation where we was just on 6th Street downtown, just coming out the club. We see some people who were enemies, I just put it that way. My homeboy, one of my main homeboys, didn't hesitate. He dropped him. But when he dropped him, the dude, he fell backwards and he was out cold. It was like, dang. We just tried to run for it. That's how quick things can happen. You see what I'm saying? I went to the corner store with my homeboys one time. I'm driving. They not driving. But one of my main homeboys wanted to steal and didn't say nothing to nobody. This is the middle of the night. The grocery store right there on Dessau and 183. We buy all our stuff legitimately, but it is 3 a.m. and it's a car full of Hebrews. My homeboy stole. We didn't know it. So I'm riding down Dessau trying to go home. car full of Hebrews. We get surrounded by the police and they got their guns drawn. Because not only did the lady call them and say that the dude stole, but the lady said that we was trying to rob the store. So they thought we was strapped. We wasn't even strapped, nothing like that. They had the guns drawn. Get out the car right now. Get out the car right now. I'm like, what, man, what's going on, man? What, did y'all do something, man? What? They're right. I don't know. What? Let me see your hands. So I'm just showing my hands. Get out the car. I open the door. I get out the car, and I'm telling you, this is a true story. As soon as I stood up, I heard, ch-ch. That's all I heard. But my back was turned to them because they wouldn't let me move. All I know, I got a bunch of guns cocked, pointed at me, and they telling me not to move. Then they like, back up, take one step at a time, So I'm just doing like this. And next thing you know, I get arm tackled by law, and they put me in handcuffs right away. That's how scared they was. They thought we tried to rob the store. And so finally, once they get me in handcuffs, she's like, man, what's going on? I ain't know. You just trying to go home. You know, you young. You know, you're like, what? Y'all tried to rob that store. We just got a call. Search out my home, but Manny Joe had all kind of stolen goods. Like, what? You just can't have people riding with you, though. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that, man. You can't have people riding with you, man. You can't be riding with just anybody. Y'all, this stuff, we were all fresh out of high school. This is like 18, 19. You heard everybody he said was about 18, 19. How old are y'all? By the time you get over like 25, you get a little bit more, mostly. As I know there's exceptions, I know. But mostly you get a little bit more sense with yourself and you don't do just stupid stuff. But man, them people fresh out of high school, that's what we call them, crash dummies. That's that crash dummy stuff that be going on, man. Be robbing stores, be shooting and stuff like that, and killing each other. That's why we man, by the time I turned 25, you wasn't going to no 18 and up clubs. That's where all the shootings happen at. All the fights. All right, y'all. Hopefully that made sense. But let's I'll just bring out what I was gonna say real quick on Numbers 11. We're not gonna read the whole thing, but I'll just say what I was gonna say and we'll wrap it up. So in Numbers 11, basically they were murmuring again, and the people were gathering themselves to themselves. The people were gathering themselves to themselves because they were yielding to intense lusts, to intense cravings. And so this isn't just for jungle, but this is for all the mishpakim. To beware of anybody trying to get in your ear. Because they yielding to intense craving. They can pull you into the intense cravings by getting in your ear. You was good. You wasn't even worried about it, but you letting these people getting in your ear, now all of a sudden you yielding to the stuff now. Now you not content. Be content where Yahuwah has you. Be content in the Most High, because what you don't want is the Most High to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to send you this quail. Man. You don't want that. All right, where's the verse about the manna? Oh, here we go. Okay, let's start with verse 7, and we'll read verse 7 and 8. No, 7 through 9.
Numbers 11, verse 7. Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its color like the color of bdellium.
The color of what?
Bdellium.
What color is bdellium? Y'all look it up real quick. Y'all go into Strong's Concordance. So the word bdellium is badolah. Badolah in Hebrew. And you see where it says strong definition? Do y'all see that? It says probably from what? Bdellium, or however you pronounce it. What's interesting is that the word for manna is man. That's the Hebrew word for manna is man. It's mem nun, which is very similar to shaman or shamin, which is the word for oil. I should have put an SH. But it's the word for oil. You know what I'm saying? So, Moray's name, Manu, is related to Man. It's related to manna. So it said it's the color of bdellium. Then it says, verse 8, the people went about and gathered it, ground it on millstones, or beat it in the mortar, cooked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And its taste was like the taste of pastry prepared with oil. So they gathered it, they ground it on millstones, they beat it. And that sounds similar to like the vessels that they were a beaten work. They had to be ground, they had to be refined by the fire and made. This manna is from the Shalim, man. This manna was gold. This was like golden food or something. Verse 9, and when the dew fell on the camp in the night, what else fell on it? The manna was the fire. That's why Yahushua said, I'm the bread. He basically said he was the manna. Now that makes sense. Because he's the one to come to immerse you in the fire. And you had to gather it and you had to consume it. You had to put it in you. Hallelujah. Praise Yahushua. That's all I have. Oh, yeah. But yeah, to all the graduates, again, congratulations. But now it's game time. This is just the beginning. I know you're like, oh man, I just ended school. No, this is just this is literally the beginning of something. And so, the Jungle Akeem, we're going to be working with y'all on moving forward on the best way to move forward. Right now, you got to be really focused. You got to be really intentional on how you're moving, on how you're using your time, et cetera, et cetera. You got to be very intentional on who is in your ear, too. We got to talk about these things. Hallelujah.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.